Good afternoon and welcome to the virtual groundbreaking, ribbon cutting and opening of this beautiful Catalyst building and the Scott Morris Center for Energy Innovation. Good afternoon, I'm Scott Morris, I'm the chairman of Avista, and joining me today are some of the partners who really made this beautiful building and this beautiful site happen. If it wasn't for Dean Allen and the McKinstry team, who were the thought leaders around building the most sustainable green building in North America, we wouldn't be here today. If it wasn't for Craig Curtis and the team at Katerra having the courage to build a mass timber building on a commercial scale, we wouldn't be here today. And of course, Eastern Washington University, who's going to be the proud tenant of this beautiful building, is with us today. I mentioned that this building is really unique. And we like to say that and brag a little bit that indeed this building is the greenest, most sustainable building in North America. And we dreamed about it, making it that way on purpose. When Dean built this building, he didn't just want it to be green, he wanted it to be smart. So it is probably, if not the smartest, one of the smartest buildings in all of North America. It's served by one of the most creative energy districts and grids in North America called an eco-district. And we built it in this beautiful place that we like to say that it's among the 5 smartest blocks in all of the world, making the South Landing area of the University District one of the most unique places, not just in Spokane in the state of Washington, but we think in North America. Spokane, a place of first, is again doing a first thing right here with our Catalyst building. I mentioned we're here virtually today, and we wish you could be here, but of course we wanted the safety of our students, faculty, and staff of Eastern, and all the people that have worked so hard to make this building become a reality, continue to be safe. So while we're doing it virtually today, we want you to know that we want you here. When you can come safely, you have to come experience this building, the vitality, the vibrancy of seeing what it's like to be in the greenest, most sustainable building in North America. We want you here, so plan on it. Soon, I don't know when that will be, but we want you here to come down and experience it. You know, Spokane is really proud of the University District, and when we dreamed about the U District, we thought it was from Gonzaga. We knew it would be from Gonzaga all the way to the hospitals, and Spokane has done a fabulous job of building the University District right up to what we know are the railroad tracks, the north part of the University District. But we were landlocked, in essence, because we couldn't get across the tracks. And once Spokane had the courage to build the University Gateway Bridge, and we knew where it was going to land, Avista owned the land where this beautiful building was built. And we bought some more property, and we knew that we had a chance to do something not just bold and innovative, but unique and do something that has never been done before. And that was the vision, to build the 5 smartest blocks in the world, to engage with partners. As I mentioned, Dean Allen and McKinstry, the only company, I think, in the United States that could have pulled off a building of this magnitude and of this scale and of this amount of innovation, to be our partner, to be the developer and builder. How fortunate are we that Katerra is located right here in Spokane, a plant, and the leader in mass timber construction and CLT, with them to have the courage to build a commercial building to this scale, to partner with Dean and the McKinstry team to create the smartest, greenest, most innovative building in all of North America. And then Eastern Washington University, the courage it takes to move into this building and wanting to make sure their staff, faculty, and students had an educational experience unlike anything that you could think of. And Eastern stepped up immediately to do all of that. And at Avista, we're so proud of the fact that we've created an eco-district that is so focused on greening the grid, but also making sure it's reliable and affordable. And one of the things that you're going to hear about it today is how important affordability is to the vision of all of that. Whether it's an affordable grid or an affordable green building that is so sustainable, it has to be affordable and so that it can be duplicated outside of Spokane. And that's really our vision and our dream, is that we started it here in Spokane. We are a community of firsts, but what we hope is that it's copied, that people throughout the world can see what you can do with a green building and a green grid and a smart city, and it can all come together and be duplicated to make sure that this planet continues to do the right thing in regards to energy. So with that, I'm going to stop. David May, the president of Eastern Washington University, is going to be coming up after me. But first, we're going to roll the tape about the Catalyst building. So let's roll it. You know, the magic of catalyzing something is you never really know what's going to happen. When we started dreaming about the Catalyst building, quite frankly, I never doubted once we couldn't pull this off. When the pedestrian bridge we knew was being built and Avista had the land where the bridge was going to be, we had a chance to do something so bold, so dynamic for the region, to really change the energy future if we did it right. So let's just not have it be smart city meets smart grid meets smart building, but let's make the 5 smartest blocks in the world.
One of the exciting things about South Landing and Catalyst and the Morris Center is that if you set a bold enough vision, then you have to innovate to achieve it.
And we knew that we could do it. We had the expertise. We had the Avista team, the McKinstry team, the Katerra team, all the partners that we've had bringing in Eastern Washington University and their willingness to be bold to come here.
Everybody was committed to the same outcome. And that kind of collaboration and sort of shared vision is really how amazing things get done.
If we're going to meet our green vision for the country over the next 100 years, it's going to take the same bold things that we did at the turn of the 20th century to make that happen.
And so when we're doing this building, we're trying to invent the future of utilities and of energy and of how buildings play nice with the grid and the grid plays nice with buildings by sort of inventing this neighborhood energy sharing idea we call an eco-district.
If we're really going to get to this clean energy future in a way that's affordable for everyone, it's going to be the research and really the magic that happens with the McKinstry engineers, the Avista engineers, and the other engineers and scientists that want to join us, thinking about that clean energy future right here in Spokane. That's what it's going to take to draw some of the best and the brightest companies to come to Spokane. We want more partners. We want more best thinking.
I love the notion that this building will get copied and that the things that we have done here will get copied.
There's a lot of people that have their fingerprints, their vision, their heart in this development. And I want to say thank you because you have made something so special. And it's a legacy for this community.
President at Eastern Washington University. I want to thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to join us here at this virtual event. I just took my mask off and I'm excited to talk to people without a mask for the first time in a few days. My colleagues and I stand here today in this amazing space, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge the place where this space exists. The knowledge that's going to be generated here, the catalyzing effect that this building will have on teaching and learning is something that's going to be amazing to watch. But knowledge comes not just from books. Knowledge also comes from place. And I want to acknowledge that we reside right now within the traditional homelands of the Spokane tribe, and their ancestors are here with us, and their knowledge comes from the land and comes to us through them. I want to thank our partners. This has been a true partnership, and it's been amazing to be a part of. I can't say enough about the partnerships we've had with Avista, with McKinstry, with Katerra, with Michael Green Architecture, and with the Emerald Initiative. All of these people have been amazing to work with in this long process, something that we all took the leap together on, as Scott Morris mentioned. I also want to acknowledge the $5 million gift from McKinstry and Avista that allows us to be part of this operation. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Dr. Mary Cullinan, the former president at Eastern Washington University. She was bold, she was visionary, and her leadership is what allowed Eastern Washington University to be a part of this amazing day. What she saw is not just putting a flag in the ground in Spokane. What she saw was Eastern's chance to be a leader in Spokane in a way that we haven't been in the past. This is the first step. This is the first bold step in Eastern in Spokane. I also want to thank all the companies who are talking to us right now about naming spaces within this beautiful space. STCU and others are very interested in being partners with us as we go forward. The videos that you're seeing today, the animations that you're seeing today, are examples of what this building is. Those were prepared as a collaboration between our students at Eastern, our faculty, and people in industry to create these amazing flybys and fly-throughs that you're going to see today. That's what this building has the power to do, to connect students and faculty with industry and all of our partners in Spokane. So this fall and by next winter, we will be moving several significant programs into this building. It's starting now, actually. We'll be moving computer science, electrical engineering, the design department. We'll be moving all of our business programs here. Creative writing will move over here. And so this is going to be a space where collaborations that have never been thought about will be taking place every single day. And that's exciting for me as the interim president. But now I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn it over to Dean David BOWMAN and several of our faculty who are going to share with you some more details about the impacts that this space is going to have on how they teach and how they learn and how they work. Thank you.
One of the phenomenal aspects of the Catalyst building is the CLT construction, this beautiful wood building and a zero energy building. This really is the future of sustainable development, and sustainability is such a core value of what we do at Eastern. It's wonderful to be here in this building that represents the future. It's doing work that also will drive us towards the future.
Being located at South Landing gives our students the opportunity to engage and interact with industry professionals and to work on community-based problems.
When Eastern moved down to the Catalyst building, we knew that we were going to be helping to drive the local economy. Eastern has always done that. We're the biggest job provider for Spokane, and by moving our programs of design, electrical engineering, and computer science downtown to where those industries live, we knew that we would be able to make a huge impact on the economy.
It's bringing together so many different programs. For instance, data analytics out of the business school is going to be with the computer science program out of the STEM college, and that's just a wonderful synergy.
Our students are going to be working with great world-class scientists and faculty members, and they're going to be doing it right alongside the industry that calls itself home here in Spokane.
Catalyst is a place where students, professionals, practitioners, community partners, other academic institutions can come together to learn and collaborate.
And we're going to be able to bring together the tech fields with business, with entrepreneurship, with the social sciences to really produce students who are working across the disciplines the way they do in the real world.
They say that design is a conversation, and we say that Catalyst is where it's going to happen.
Catalyst has just been a wonderful driver for that. It's going to change education at Eastern, and through that, going to change Spokane.
Hi, I'm Craig Curtis with Katerra, and first of all I want to say it's really nice to be here in person in this building instead of in my basement where I've been for the last 6 months, it seems like. The only downside is this is the first meeting or presentation I've been to in the last 2 months where I've had to find my pants. But on behalf of Katerra Architecture, Katerra CLT, Katerra Construction, I just first want to thank everyone who was involved in the decision making for this process and including us in this amazing journey. You know, this is a groundbreaking project. You heard from Scott how this building is so groundbreaking for Avista, for Eastern Washington University, what an impact it's going to have on their programs. You'll hear later from Dean the importance of this project to McKinstry. And for Katerra, this is groundbreaking because this building is constructed with the very first panels that came out of our factory. So the largest capital investment that Katerra has made to date is our CLT factory, and I'm proud to say that it's located just a few miles down the road from this building right here in Spokane Valley. So super proud about that. You're going to hear over the next several months, maybe years, a lot of stories about this project because of the example that it sets. Not only the net zero energy that we're going to talk about and we're super proud of, it's got the tightest envelope ever recorded by our envelope consultant It has the most energy efficient building walls designed to passive house standards, and it's going to be net zero operational energy. The other really interesting thing about it is the carbon that is stored in the mass timber in the building, the glulam columns, the CLT walls and floors. That the biogenic carbon that's stored in that wood offsets 100% the carbon that was used in order to manufacture the materials that built the rest of this building. So that's pretty remarkable, and that's why this building is going to be researched and published, and people will scrutinize it, and that's why we all did it, right? I think that's why Dean wanted to do this, is to do something that groundbreaking. But all of that said, I have to say that when I was driving across the state today to attend this, I drove through 250 miles of smoke. And there are other good reasons why it's important to build in this new way, and that is our forests can use some better forest management, and mass timber can be part of that movement. The average diameter tree that's used in the manufacture of our panels is 11 inches diameter. So this can do things like improve the health of our forests. It can bring jobs back to our rural communities. It can do a lot of things beyond everything you've heard today. So it's a really special building, amazing to be part of it, and we do want people to repeat this. We want people to see this and say, yeah, we can do this. It's not rocket science. I'm not to say that it was easy. It was not easy. It was difficult, but the next one will be easier, and the one after that will be easier yet. So we're excited to be part of this new way of building, and it takes vision and guts to do this, and I think everyone wants to hear from the guy with the vision and guts, Dean Allen. But just before we go to Dean, there's another short clip that talks about how this building came together, including some words from Michael Green, who was the lead design architect on the Catalyst building. Thank you.
What was great about Catalyst is it is the first showcase of cross-laminated timber by Katerra in a major project.
Yeah, Katerra was really formed because this industry is so ripe for change, and the size of the opportunity is massive.
The amount of wood in the building in general virtually offset the entire embodied carbon of the building. When we talk about carbon, we talk about embodied carbon, the materials in a building, and operational carbon, the heating and cooling of the building and running the building. And what makes the building so exceptional is when you can take the embodied carbon, what it's made out of, and actually zero out its carbon footprint by using wood.
So we have an opportunity to affect the environment in a lot of different ways, whether it's from really smart sourcing of materials from all over the globe to being much more efficient about the way materials are transported, assembled in a factory, and then assembled on site. One of the challenges in introducing mass timber to North America is simply just one of education. But we know that in North America, not only is there a massive market for mass timber because wood construction is just readily accepted here compared to just about anywhere else in the world, but also the fact that we've got the natural resource right in our backyard. So it should be a no-brainer.
The Catalyst project's really unique in the fact that it's the first office building made of cross-laminated timber in Washington State, one of the first in the United States in general, and that's part of the beginning of a movement where we expect to see far more buildings built in mass timber and built in cross-laminated timber in particular. It's also a huge demonstration for the work at Katerra around what's possible to be done efficiently, intelligently and beautifully in cross-laminated timber, and so we're really proud of the fact that it brought together a lot of this new innovation in wood and new innovation around how to make buildings of the future in general.
You have large format panels that are made in a factory environment with extreme precision, more so than I would say any other material that's out there. So you've got the accuracy of the equipment, very large format, lightweight when compared to concrete or steel, and very few people needed on site. So all of those things add up to a solution for cities.
We are huge believers that mass timber and CLT are the appropriate materials for institutional projects, for universities, for a whole host of public projects. projects. And I think the Catalyst building is just that. It's a catalyst for the kinds of future buildings we expect to see built in mass timber. And again, for us to be able to do that with Katerra made this a very special project for us as a firm, and really the beginning of many more to come.
Hey, thanks for being here. We didn't exactly expect that our grand opening ceremony would be delivered in the method that we are, but it's here for innovation and technology coming through and making this all possible. Thanks for joining us, and thank you, Scott and David and Craig, for the nice remarks. I made the comment earlier, this is one of those speeches where you probably didn't want to be last because all the fun stuff's already been said, I think. But in truth, it is really an amazing testament to both partnership and vision that has got us here. You know, you think about Scott Morris sort of imagining what a set of underutilized properties and land at the end of a bridge to nowhere, what that should really be, and setting up the notion that perhaps we shouldn't just do what other cities have done, but do something really special. And then the partners that joined with him and us and his team at Avista that took on the challenge to figure out how to have the best building in North America built and have it be affordable for tenants here in Spokane, where our rents aren't the same as they are in San Francisco or Seattle. And I'm very pleased to tell you that not only is this building the best building ever built, and probably the smartest building ever built, at least for a week or two or a month or two at the rate of innovation, but it was done on time and on budget through a pandemic. And that took an incredible amount of resilience and resourcefulness and innovation and a spirit of partnership and can-do, which is not surprising for a town like Spokane, which I think is really a hallmark of the city. There are innumerable people to thank, and so I'm going to start by saying thank you to all the innumerable people. There are a couple folks that we haven't mentioned yet that I want to say. I do want to acknowledge the city of Spokane, the mayor and her staff, for really helping us power through. This is a building that has not been built before and until recently was not legal to build in the state of Washington. And then the innovations that we created by having a centralized neighborhood energy system also sort of stretched the boundaries of what had been done before, and the city was very helpful and supportive and helped us get to this point. There are a couple of people I'd love to embarrass, two McKinstry folks. One, John Lang, who was our in-house architect that guided our work. So, Michael Green and Katerra were the architects on the project, but John and I worked together for 40 years, and this is his last day. We're got the project done, so we're going to lay him off. No, he's retiring, and today is his last day, and he has poured his heart and soul into this, and I want to thank John for that. And so that's one old-timer like me that's worth thanking. And then I also want to thank Allie Teplicki, who's not an old-timer. She's the youngest one on our team, and she's probably the one most individually responsible for guiding us through this crazy journey that we have been on. And I would say that Scott first and me second created a set of aspirations and vision that made this project particularly hard. And hundreds of people needed to come together to innovate around that. And Allie was our traffic cop and our budget master and our schedule master. And even though she's the youngest member of the team, I think she did herself very proud. I also want to double down on what Dave said about Mary Cullinan. You can't imagine what a bold and brave and courageous and visionary move it is to think about students first in terms of the kind of home they should be in where the learning takes place. And of course, we think this is a fantastic building for the teachers and the professors and the administrative staff of Eastern, but this is all about outcomes for kids. And I just want you to know how important her vision and her commitment to this was, and we have a space in the building in her honor, which I'm looking forward to showing to her in the very near term. I'm going to pivot a little bit and just sort of acknowledge that this is very much the beginning, not the end. So one of the things that's fantastic about this building and the systems that went in it is that it's all about an ongoing relationship between the people in the building, the built environment, and the grid. And Craig mentioned the connections to the local forestry industry, and that the building can be an exemplar for reviving rural communities that were dependent on forestry, as well as dealing with deloading forests. Dave mentioned the connection to the Spokane tribes and sort of the cultural heritage behind this. But I want to also talk about this ongoing career-connected learning. So computer science students and electrical engineering students and business students and entrepreneur students and others in this building will be inspired by the building, but they will be joined with private sector researchers and developers and deliverers here on the campus. So Avista Utilities R&D Group, our living laboratory of the Eco District, where we will be inventing new strategies to make buildings cooperate and work better in partnership with the grid. We've established a small grants program to get multidisciplinary undergraduate research happening here at Eastern. And this is going to be a place where innovation and discovery goes on and on and on. So I just want to encourage you to get over here to Spokane and see what we have accomplished, and importantly, to participate in the learnings and the innovations that will go on from this point forward. I also just want to say personally that I think it's important to do projects that make a difference in the community. I think sometimes you're just fulfilling a need when you build a building, and McKinstry's had the pleasure of building $20 billion worth of projects over 60 years, and we probably love them all, maybe not equally. But one of the things I think is so fantastic about this project is the lessons learned and the ongoing learning that will happen from our investment here. And we're pleased to be responsible to keep it up for the next 60 years. And with that, I'm sorry you're not here with us, but we offer the next segment of our virtual introduction, which is a walk-around tour. Thanks.